In your consumer news this morning, all U.S. flights to Haiti are now grounded. The FAA has banned flights to the Caribbean nation for the next month after 3 U.S. planes were hit by gunfire over Port-au-Prince. The order comes as Haitian officials have already suspended local flights for a week due to escalating gang violence. All U.S. flights must now stay above 10,000 feet when near that country. Emergency contraceptive sales are surging after the election. Online retailers say sales of the morning after pill jumped 1,000% the day after President-elect Trump's victory. Healthcare providers say women are stocking up, concerned about future access to contraception. An Oregon school district is silent for the first time in 4 decades. 600 teachers at 21 schools walked out yesterday after contract talks broke down. The union is pushing for a 40-hour work week, more prep time, and better pay. Classes are canceled as negotiations resume today, with the superintendent calling the situation distressing, while teachers say they feel unheard. The Consumer Price Index report is coming out later this morning. That is an inflation gauge. The CPI looks at how prices urban consumers pay for certain goods and services change over time. Its release comes a day after a stark warning from a notable economist. Amy Kiley reports on why he's worried about inflation.
Larry Summers sounds concerned that the inflation genie may not be back in the bottle.
A notable economist is sounding an alarm bell. Former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers is known for correctly forecasting skyrocketing inflation in 2021. He said yesterday he worries the Federal Reserve is underestimating the risk of the economy overheating. He says he fears the Fed will be, quote, once burned, twice burned, instead of once burned, twice shy, when it comes to mitigating risks of inflation. That warning comes after back-to-back rate cuts.
I was struck by just how concerned Summers sounded that the Fed could be repeating those same mistakes of 3.5 years ago when they waited too long to put out the inflation fire.
But other economists say they can understand why the Fed cut rates.
They're more worried about employment. I think they get that the inflation issue has been resolved.
Many experts sound hopeful about inflation. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell is among them.
We continue to be confident that with an appropriate recalibration of our policy stance, strength in the economy and the labor market can be maintained, with inflation moving sustainably down to 2%.